It's about to get diplomatic.
Okay, people, so we're gonna get straight into the 007 first like discussion bit. Then the second part of the video, I've got a few things to get off my chest, but I'll leave that for the second part. Right now, we're just gonna focus on the gameplay and how everything looks and feels. So, from what I've seen, from what they've shown, obviously, Arrow Interactive, I think this looks really good. I think this game is gonna play out really well. I feel like because they're the developers of Hitman, it makes sense for them to get their stealth aspects right. The action aspects, I wasn't so sure, but then I said, you know what? Hopefully they just, they can try and make sure they can mix some action aspects in because it's not 100% stealth. It's James Bond, James Bond, you're gonna, at the start he's gonna sneak through, but then if he gets caught up in some business, he's gonna be fighting, blasting his way out of some areas with explosions, getting through some enemies, just taking them out swift, all of that good stuff, right? And I think Arrow Interactive have captured that in the gameplay shown really well. I definitely feel like it's really well. Hopefully by the time the release is here, the gameplay will be smooth, everything that we know and love about James Bond will be shown, will be pretty good too. So I kind of like the fact that they've gone with a younger look on James Bond because now we kind of get to see his origin a bit more, and he has the scar on his face like he does in the books, and him being Irish, so it just kind of makes sense as well. And let's not forget about the obviously the acting as well. The main guy who's playing James Bond, he's in a show called Dexter. Dexter's quite like he's a serial killer in the show, but he's playing like a young Dexter in that as well. So it's just kind of interesting to see. Okay, he's bringing something to this as well. So the acting, but I'm not even just talking like him as well. There is a bunch of actors that I've seen in this that I thought, oh, okay, he's in it too. Okay, she's in it. Like it's good. I think this is the way they're going about it. Seems really good in terms of the gameplay. Like I like a lot of the gadgets you can have. I like the sneaking around. I like the fact that you can know if you're hiding somewhere, if you want to get somebody's attention, you can call out because you can do that in like a few stealth games as well. Like that, you just call out to a person, they come to your direction, you just take them out quickly. So it's going to be interesting, and of course, like they have to show the gameplay where like it's in a hotel, a fancy hotel. You know how James Bond is, like you get me. But this time he's really trying to blend in rather than just like. I mean, he's always trying to blend in, but he's never been like a driver. He's more so been like an exclusive person inside the hotel and like, oh yeah, here's my card, here's my ID, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think this game so far has shown what he needs to do. Obviously, the release isn't here yet. February. No, sorry, not February. I think it's March. Couldn't come any quicker, and I do think that as we've got a couple months time, there's probably going to be some things that they're going to work on right now and make sure they fine tune before the release happens, because there's some releases of games, guys, that's happened over the last couple of years and it's not been performing the best. And I get we've all been frustrated with games like that. Cyberpunk was one of the reasons I haven't played Cyberpunk yet, guys, because I just said, I'm leaving it until they actually fix this game properly. And we don't want that with any game going forward. Any game, we don't. But we're starting to get that a lot of the times with a lot of these games now. And it sucks because these games are they seem very good, but the problem is just like things like performance and things like that just kind of like ruin it. But other than that though, guys, James Bond First Light, easy purchase for me. Easy purchase. I'm getting this. We haven't had a James Bond game since 2012. And that was 007 Legends. We haven't had that. We haven't had it for so long. 13 years. And then even before that, it was Bloodstone. So now that we get something where, it's a James Bond, finally, James Bond is back in the gaming world again. It may not be like a GoldenEye or whatever, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be that. It seems like this is more closer to an origin. This is his early days, like his younger self. So now we get to see what he was kind of like in his, I guess in his prime more so, because I feel like in the movies and stuff he was more so mid to late 30s, going into his 40s, or maybe even early 40s. But now we get to see him as like late 20s, early 30s. It's like, oh, okay, this is dope. So yeah. Other than that though, guys, I wanted to kind of talk about a few things here in this part, because oh man, it's not even so much like I don't, basically it's just going to be a rant. That's what it basically comes down to anyway. And I think I've just gotten tired of the gaming industry as a whole, and that's not so much the gamers themselves. but it's more so the journalism side of it. You know, we all look at gaming journalism. We all do it. We all want to see what the journalists are saying and whatever. But even though I see what journalists are saying, I don't really care. It's about my experience, right? And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. But because a lot of these journalists that are in gaming now, they don't feel like gaming journalists to me. So when they say certain things about this type of game, and this game's not up to par because of performance and graphics and things like that, mind you, these things are important. But at the same time, like a game is supposed to be fun. That's what it's supposed to be about. Fun for the consumer and whoever else wants to play. It's supposed to be fun for hardcore gamers or for newcomers, whatever, right? It's supposed to be fun for whoever's a video gamer. Whoever plays video games, it's supposed to be fun for you, right? If it's not fun for you, cool. Find something else. That's not a problem, right? But I think I'm just getting tired of this, of people just, complaining about this game, saying like, oh, the car chase isn't as good as Uncharted 4, and there wasn't much cars chasing James Bond and things like that and rare. And I'm thinking, this is only one car chase out of the whole game. It's only one aspect, one car chase, right? I'm sure there will be more. And even if the car chases are not like, intense as maybe as Uncharted 4, that's okay. I don't really care. That doesn't matter. Because I'm sure they're going to excel in other aspects of the game. So that's my take on it. But of course, we all want a good car chase because it's James Bond. We all want it to be intense. James Bond, he's driving through tunnels, two cars are beside his car, he's trying to crash both of them, or he gets out of the car himself and just lands conveniently. That's just what James Bond is about. That's what it is, right? But then of course you have people saying, oh, is this even going to perform well? Even when they was playing, it's like, oh, dropped frames, all this and that. And I'm just thinking, are you serious? Are you serious? This is where we're going with gaming right now. I understand frames, performance, all these things do matter. But at the same time, if a game is fun, a game is fun. And then people are like, oh, it's not even open world. And I'm sorry, not every game has to be open world. I don't want to, when it comes to James Bond, I don't want to play action RPG. I want it to be from mission to mission. Maybe have a few side missions here and there, but mostly mission to mission. That's how a James Bond game is for me anyway. That's how I feel about it. And not even just a James Bond game, but a lot of games can just be mission to mission. But we're in the era of oh yeah, make it long, expand the world, and then do all this and that. And sometimes that doesn't work out. Seriously, it doesn't. Guys, honestly, yeah, I played Assassin's Creed Shadows. You can go and check out my playlist, yeah, and you can see what I said in the last part of that playthrough, right? Honestly, there was so much side content that felt like the main story. And sometimes you don't want that with side content. You want side content to take you away from the main story sometimes. I'm not saying it can't connect, but what I am saying is yo, does it have to have this much side content for it to be side content? I thought it would be 1 or 2 missions and then just move on. But it wasn't that. But we're in that era where people want to complain about, oh, they're not giving us more and things like that. I don't expect this game to be an open world action RPG. I expect this game to be mission to mission, quite linear. I expect it to be quite linear in that aspect. I don't want it to be expanded on the things it's James Bond. Look at the movies, read the books. That's all I can tell you guys, honestly. And for the people that are complaining about the dropped frames, this and that, gamers, I feel like a lot of us gamers, when it comes to video games nowadays, we are spoiled. And I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, we don't deserve good frames and we don't deserve perfect graphics and whatnot. We should be in that era where we should be getting those things because technology has advanced so much over the years, right? But guess what? We're not. Things have gone backwards somehow, and even I don't agree with it a lot of the times. But that still, when we see a game that looks genuinely fun, what happened to a game just being fun? I think that's what bothers me the most, is that the moment you say, oh yeah, 007 First Sight looks really good, it seems like a lot of fun, there's always going to be that one person who's be like, oh, I don't think it's going to run this well. I don't think, oh no, how can this doesn't even look like it? The dropped frames, oh, it's going to be so bad on release. Who gives a f***? It's only an opinion. If you can't stand someone else's opinion, don't say nothing, please. This is why I can't stand the journalism in gaming, because it's a lot of people who are journalists in gaming don't know don't even play video games. They don't know what certain video games are about, or they don't even play them to find them what they're about. You know what I mean? And we're in an era where like most people play video games nowadays, but most people don't want to step outside their parameters. So no, so when you see games like James Bond and people are like, oh, like it doesn't look this appealing or that appealing, cool, that's fine to you, but to the next person it does. Why do you have to force your opinion? Seriously, what is the point of that? It's so annoying. I can't stand this no more. Like, I've really gotten to the point where gaming, I just can't stand like people just complaining about certain video games. And it's like, if you don't want to play it, just say you don't want to play it and move on. You know what I mean? If you don't want to spend your money on it, fine. You don't have to spend your money on it. But that doesn't mean to say you can't stop the other person from doing that. I think we've gotten to the point where we see so many releases now. I've gotten so much hate. Like this game wasn't the only one that got a lot of hate on before release. Star Wars Outlaws got the same thing. And I understand why Star Wars got the hate because of how, again, the movies and TV shows in terms of Disney. I understand it, but the game shouldn't have got a lot of hate for what it was. I haven't even played it yet myself, and I don't even think it deserved the hate that it got. You know what I mean? And I had to wait for some time because of the hate. I have to wait for things now because people just want to hate on release, and it's just like, I can't play this game with all the noise. I have to play this when it's quiet and it's peaceful and I can just enjoy it for myself without anybody's input. Because that's what's happening now. Is that people are saying their piece, but then their input is just like, soon as somebody says, oh, what? How can you like this game? How can you da-da-da-da-da? It's only an opinion. Bro, get over yourself. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Get over yourself, please. But that's enough of the rant. James Bond, First Light, looking forward to next year. Looking to see what the story's going to be about, how the characters develop, how the gameplay feels. I'm going to have some fun. We're going to have a good old time with this game. And if you don't like the game, I don't know what to tell you again. Just do something else. I don't know, knit. Do something productive. But nonetheless, guys, that's going to be pretty much it for the video. Let me know your thoughts, how you feel about 007 First Light. Please, whether you like it from what you see or you dislike some of the things you see, let me know. Be constructive about it. Don't get too personal about it. It's not that deep. Again, my opinions on this thing. And yeah, we're just going to keep it like that. But don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you for the next one. I'm gone. Peace.